Hello, we're coming to you from Bismarck, North Dakota. We camped at Fort Abraham Lincoln State Park. It was a beautiful campground surrounded by trees, hills, and the Missouri River. It was wonderfully calm while we were there. This is Custer's home. There are Union soldiers dressed as if in the period, who speak as if in the period, who give you a tour of General Custer's home. These are the barracks where his soldiers would have stayed. Many of the bunks have soldiers' names on them. However, there were numerous soldiers whose names are unknown, as they did not know how to sign their name back in the day. Many of these artifacts were found there on location as they dug down and excavated the land over time. This is the dining hall where the men would have eaten. Right off the dining hall, there's a kitchen. Excuse me, where many of the foods were prepared for those soldiers. This is looking across from the barracks. That's the location where the horses would have been stabled. There were lots of maps there of trails and expeditions, and this is inside Custer's home. There are several original artifacts and some reproductions within the home. He lived there with Mrs. General Custer. They had several maids that lived upstairs and would host several parties throughout the months for soldiers and officers there within his regiment. The guided tours are only throughout the summer. The rest of the time the park is open, but the house is kept locked. This is the view of the house. Here's views of the barracks across from the house. It amazed me how many Native Americans were actually used as scouts for Custer's expeditions. And this is a list of all the scouts that were documented at that time. Here's the stables. And this is a path that you take down to the Indian village. There are several maps and diagrams that show how the buffalo was used, what children or women's jobs were, and kind of how the Indians lived. It gave us an interesting information on cash crops and how a cache would look down beneath the earth. This is a cache. This particular Indian village is called On a Slant Indian Village, and these were giant mounds that the women had built for the people to live in throughout the winter. They're surprisingly stay around 60 degrees, summer or winter. Here's a view of where other mounds would have been. They have a museum located on the premises that you can go through. It's full of fascinating information. Then up on top of a hill is the original fort that they used. That's the view across the Missouri River. They have a gravesite there. What was interesting that they marked on those markers is how some of the men died. I was truly surprised how many of them died from illnesses, and surprisingly not many from freezing to death as cold as it gets. That's a view across over toward Bismarck today. And that's the view of the General Custer's home and the barracks. There's a trolley that will take you down into town and back for a small fee. Then there were deer. There was this mama deer with two doe. Mama deer with two babies, and we watched those right before the day we got ready to leave. It was a lot of fun. They never did come out of the woods. If you happen up this way, I would give this park a try. It sure is a lot of fun and really neat during the summer months.